Ladies and gentlemen, stop wasting time, because every second you let slip away is a second you'll never get back. People love to talk about wanting success, wanting greatness, wanting freedom. But when the moment comes to put in the work, they're scrolling, they're sleeping, they're saying, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. All you have is right now. And if you don't use it with urgency, you're building nothing. Time is the most valuable currency you'll ever hold, and once it's spent, there are no refunds. Equity in life is not about money. It's about what you've built through sweat, sacrifice, and relentless consistency. Nobody hands it to you. You build it brick by brick, choice by choice, rep by rep. Every time you push through when it's hard, you're making a deposit. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you're making a deposit. And those deposits add up into something nobody can take from you. Equity, that's ownership of your grind, ownership of your growth, ownership of your destiny. Talent might give you a head start, but talent fades when it doesn't have discipline backing it. I've seen people with all the natural ability in the world lose because they thought talent was enough. But talent without work is empty. Hard work will outlast talent every single time. Dedication is what keeps you standing when talent runs out of gas. And dedication is not glamorous. It's long nights, early mornings, sacrifices that nobody sees, and battles that nobody cheers for. If you want to build something that lasts, you've got to be willing to give up comfort. You can't chase distraction and greatness at the same time. That sacrifice hurts, but pain is not your enemy, it's your builder. Pain forces discipline. Discipline forces growth, and growth builds equity. Every tough practice, every rejection, every failure you fight through becomes a piece of equity you own forever. Equity isn't about one moment of glory. It's about deposits made daily, not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient. Every single day, the small, consistent acts of discipline compound into something unstoppable. That's how you build a legacy. Not with talk, not with dreams, but with choices, work, and sacrifice stacked over time. So stop wasting time. Stop acting like you've got forever. You don't. Every second matters. Either you're making excuses or you're making deposits. Either you're wasting your life or you're building equity. And when it's all said and done, nobody will remember the excuses. Nobody will remember the distractions. But they will remember what you built, the equity you earned, and the legacy you left behind. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever have. Because once it's gone, it can't be earned back, borrowed back, or traded back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose opportunities and find new ones. But the seconds, the minutes, the hours you waste, they are gone forever. Too many people treat time like it's endless, like tomorrow is guaranteed. They live like they've got a warehouse full of tomorrows waiting on them. But the truth is, every one of us is living on borrowed time, and the clock is always ticking. That's why wasting it on excuses, distractions, or procrastination is the fastest way to destroy your own future. Every decision you make is either an investment of time or a waste of it. Every hour is a deposit in the person you're becoming. If you spend it chasing comfort, you'll be broke in the only currency that matters. But if you spend it wisely, working on your craft, sharpening your mind, building your character, you'll create equity that nobody can take from you. Time is the great equalizer. It doesn't care where you came from, what you were given, or what you were denied. Everybody gets 24 hours. The difference between those who rise and those who fall is how they use them. Equity is built, not given. Nobody wakes up and suddenly has respect, success, or legacy handed to them. You can't buy it, you can't fake it, and you can't shortcut it. Equity is earned through the grind, through the sacrifices you make when nobody's watching, through the choices you commit to when it would be easier to quit. Every time you show up early, every time you stay late, every time you put in effort when it would be more comfortable to relax, you're making deposits into your equity account. That account doesn't grow overnight. It grows with consistency. It grows when you push past fatigue, when you study longer than others, when you practice harder than others, when you decide that comfort will not rob you of your calling. And the beauty of equity is that once you've built it, nobody can take it away. They can doubt you. They can overlook you. They can even try to block you, but they cannot erase the equity you've earned. That's ownership. That's your investment paying off in the form of discipline, credibility, and strength. And the ones who try to take shortcuts, they never last, because anything that comes quick can leave quick. But what you build brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice, hour by hour, that's equity that outlives the moment and speaks for itself. Hard work outlasts talent because talent alone is never enough to sustain greatness. You can be gifted, you can have natural ability, you can have all the tools in the world, but if you don't put in the effort sooner or later, someone who's willing to grind will pass you up. Talent might give you a head start, but hard work is what keeps you in the race. Too many people rely on their natural ability and expect doors to keep opening, but the truth is, talent can get you through the door, while hard work determines if you stay there. Hard work builds habits, it builds consistency, it builds resilience. It makes you stronger in the areas where talent alone can't carry you. The person who's willing to show up every day, who's willing to push past exhaustion, who's willing to do the work when nobody is watching, that's the person who lasts. Because talent can fade, talent can plateau, talent can get lazy, but hard work is renewable. It doesn't depend on what you were born with, it depends on your choices. And the beauty of hard work is that it compounds. Every rep, every practice, every sacrifice adds up into something unstoppable. So when talent gets tired, when talent takes a break, when talent gets distracted, hard work keeps moving forward. And in the end, the one who works harder will always outlast the one who only relied on talent. Dedication requires sacrifice because you cannot serve two masters. You can't chase comfort and chase greatness at the same time. People say they're dedicated, but the moment sacrifice knocks on the door, they start making excuses. Real dedication demands that you give something up. It demands late nights when others are sleeping, early mornings when others are still in bed, lonely hours of work when your friends are out having fun. Dedication forces you to choose between what feels good right now and what will make you great later. It's not convenient, it's not glamorous, and it won't always get applause, but that's the price of building something meaningful. Every person who has ever accomplished anything significant had to let go of comfort to grab hold of commitment. You can't binge on distractions and expect to produce excellence. You can't waste your time in temporary pleasures and expect to create permanent impact. Dedication is about locking in, about telling yourself, I want this so badly that I'm willing to give up what's easy. I'm willing to give up what's popular. I'm willing to give up what's temporary. That sacrifice hurts in the moment, but it pays off in the long run. Because when others fall away, when others quit, when others have nothing to show for their wasted time, your dedication and sacrifice will stand as proof that you were serious about your goals. Pain builds discipline, and discipline builds equity. Most people run from pain because they see it as punishment, but in reality, pain is a teacher. It sharpens you, it humbles you, it reveals what you're made of. Every time you endure pain without quitting, you develop a level of discipline that can't be taught in comfort. Pain strips away weakness and replaces it with strength. Discipline is born in those moments when you keep going even though everything in you wants to stop. That discipline becomes your foundation. And once you have it, you can build equity in anything you pursue. Equity doesn't come from doing things when they're easy. It comes from grinding when it hurts, from pushing when you're tired, from staying locked in when your mind is screaming to quit. Pain turns into discipline, discipline turns into habits, and habits stack into equity. That equity is the unshakable confidence that no matter what storm comes, you've already been tested, you've already endured, and you've already proven to yourself that you can survive. The people who avoid pain never build discipline, and without discipline, they have no equity, just empty dreams. But the ones who embrace pain, who welcome the struggle, who see the challenge as fuel, they come out with a level of equity nobody can take from them. Legacy comes from daily deposits, not from one big moment, not from one highlight reel, not from one victory everybody claps for. Legacy is built in the quiet, ordinary, everyday decisions that seem small but stack up over time. Every morning you choose to get up and put in the work, every time you stay disciplined when nobody's watching, every time you keep your word to yourself. That's a deposit. And those deposits compound. One day they turn into habits. Habits turn into character. And character shapes the legacy you leave behind. People think legacy is about trophies, fame, or recognition, but those things fade. What doesn't fade is the impact of consistency. What doesn't fade is the respect you earned because you showed up when it was hard. What doesn't fade is the example you leave for others to follow. Legacy isn't built in a day, it's built day by day. The problem is, too many people chase the spotlight while ignoring the small deposits. They want the applause, but not the process. But greatness doesn't come from what you do once. It comes from what you do every single day, especially when nobody's keeping score. Every rep, every sacrifice, Every moment of discipline is money in the bank of your legacy. And when your time is done, when people speak your name, it won't be the talk, the talent, or the potential they remember. It will be the daily deposits you made that built something lasting. So when it's all said and done, the question isn't whether you had dreams, talent, or potential. The question is, what did you do with your time? Did you waste it on distractions? Or did you invest it into something that will outlive you? Equity is built through sacrifice, pain, hard work, and daily deposits, and it doesn't come easy. But that's what makes it powerful. That's what makes it yours. At the end of your life, nobody will remember the excuses you made, the comfort you chased, or the shortcuts you took. They'll remember the equity you built, the example you set, and the legacy you left. Stop wasting time. Stop living like you've got forever. Every second is a chance to invest in something greater than yourself. Choose wisely, work relentlessly, and build a legacy that speaks long after you're gone.